updates on WVUA23.com and our social media platforms. Hope everyone has a great night tonight.
The views expressed in the following program do not necessarily represent the views of the staff and management of WVUA 23.
Bringing you analysis and insight into the Crimson Tide. Your Crimson cover hosts, John Copeland, Mike Parker, and Chase Goodbread. Sponsored by Burnham Hahn and by Crimson Village.
Welcome to Crimson Cover Television on WVUA 23. I'm Chase Goodbread, the sports columnist with the Tuscaloosa News. John Copeland, the former All-American defensive end for the Crimson Tide, along as well. We thank you for being here tonight. We've got a lot to talk about, as always, but mostly we're going to talk about Mike Parker, who is, as our long, extended group of viewers and listeners knows, was the founder of Crimson Cover, the inspiration for Crimson Cover. We lost him this week, unfortunately. Mike was 42 years old and was really the lifeblood of this show, not only on television but on radio as well. Crimson Cover years ago had a radio format also, and Mike's the guy who started it all. Mike is our third co-host. He has unfortunately been unable to do much television with us here at WVUA over the last year and a half. He's only been able to make it to a couple of shows, but it's been a tough week, and we are thinking about Mike and his family and his parents, Mike Sr. and Lane, first and foremost. We're thinking about the staff here at WVUA who knew Mike, and going to do the best that we can tonight to do right by Mike's memory. John, this has been difficult.
You know, looking back from the first time I ever met Mike, I was at Tuscaloosa Academy working. His mom was working at Tuscaloosa Academy. He came by. His mom wanted to introduce him to me. Had a chance to meet him. Never knew at that moment the impact that young man would have on my life. It's tough. It's a tough situation to deal with for us and his family. He was a special guy, and we're going to spend a lot of time tonight talking about him.
So, as our viewers know, Mike was wheelchair bound, unfortunately. For those who don't know, he had an accident in 2004 on the 4th of July. Mike was down in Florida and dove into a body of water celebrating the 4th. Hit his head on a sandbar and injured his neck pretty severely. He was paralyzed pretty much from the chest down. He had use of his arms and his hands, but his use of his arms and hands was somewhat limited. And again, this happened in 2004. I met Mike in 2008, and within a few months, he hatched the idea for a radio show. He thought Crimson Cover would be a great name for it. So he and I kind of launched a radio show on a whim with a loan, and then he recruited John to be a co-host with us, make it a three-man radio show. And at this point, the television show wasn't even born yet, John. But
Chase, when you and Mike first started doing radio, I got a call from Mike and told me that he had started doing radio, that he was doing it with you, if I would be a guest on the show. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Now, this is not a sports talk radio station. This is a political radio station. I get on the show, I have a great time. The vibe, the chemistry was outstanding. About a week or two later, Mike calls me up and asked me Well, he didn't get a chance to ask me. He said, "Hey, John, how you doing?" I said, "Yeah, Mike, I want to be a host on the radio show." He said, "Oh my God, thank you. I didn't even have to ask." I said, "No, man, the chemistry was great. It is definitely something I want to do."
So we do that for maybe a year and a half, John, roughly, and then
Yeah, we changed stations a couple of times.
that's how it goes in the radio business, right?
That's right.
And Crimson Cover Radio came to an end, and a natural end in 2013. But Mike hatched an idea for, well, let me back up. He was working at WVUA part-time and knew Gary Harris, the sports director, and knew all the people here. He was close with Roy Clem, who's a former WVUA general manager, who kind of helped Mike, kind of signed off on a pilot for Crimson Cover Television on WVUA.
Well, back up a little bit. Before that, when he had this idea, now we had to go to a lot of meetings. We had to do a lot of planning and talking. And Mike worked as hard on this as anything that he's done. This is his baby. It wasn't we showed up and we had a TV show. There was a lot of legwork to be done, and Mike did it.
He did it. Including gathering up sponsors, right? Our
Yes.
original sponsor was Alabama Credit Union. Mike was in the forefront of getting that secured.
That's right.
And we'll always be grateful to Alabama Credit Union, who's no longer the sponsor. I don't care. They helped us get this show started.
Without a doubt.
For
Yes.
sure. And so we did a pilot in August of 2010. At that time, WVUA was broadcasting from the bowels of Reese Pfeiffer Hall, and the set was different. A lot was different. Keith Dobbins produced it for us, and it was a whole lot of fun. The pilot we did kind of on a whim. We didn't even walk in with a plan. We just sat down and let it rip.
Kind of like we still do.
Kind of like we still do. And we sent it up the ladder, and we weren't sure if WVUA was going to say, yeah, let's roll with this or not.
That's right.
Word comes down, hey, we like it. Let's give it a go. This is in August of 2010, and we have now, John, been on the air for roughly 15 years and done roughly 750 episodes, all because this was Mike's vision.
Because Mike had a dream. Mike had a vision. And here we are right now, talking to you right now because of his vision and his dream.
Biggest Alabama super fan I knew. You? Did you know a bigger Alabama fan?
No, not at all. Or a bigger Auburn hater.
He did not like Auburn one bit. No. He wasn't a big fan of Tennessee either, was he?
No, he wasn't.
And that reminds me of something I want to talk about a little bit later in the program. We got to talk about Ha Clinton Dix, Mike's all-time favorite Alabama recruit.
And we used to give him so much crap about that.
We used to do that for sure. A lot to come here on Crimson Cover. Look, Mike, we decided would not want us to do this show without talking some sports. We don't think Mike would want the entire show to be about Mike because he was the show must go on kind of guy.
Yes.
And so when we come back from the break, we're going to talk sports like Mike would want. We're going to talk Alabama basketball. We'll talk a little Alabama football. And then our final segment, we'll turn our attention back to Crimson Cover's founder and inspiration, Mike Parker.
To know that in this impersonal world, there's still a local home-owned drugstore that can take full care of you and your family. The good folks at Northport Pharmacy. Owner and pharmacist Rob Colburn will personally see that all of your prescriptions are quickly and accurately filled and your questions answered. And be sure to check out their gift gallery for the finest in gift selections featuring Alabama merchandise, photo frames, children's clothing, beachwear, jewelry, and more. Remember, when you have pharmaceutical needs, see the man who will take the time to get to know you. Rob Colburn at Northport Pharmacy, located next to CC's Pizza, Highway 82 in Northport.
Burnham Hahn Exterminators offers termite and pest control solutions for residential and commercial customers in the West Alabama area. Family owned and operated, now in its third generation, we stay up to date with the latest advancements in the pest control industry to protect your family and home from pests. We're an authorized operator of the Centricon baiting system. Burnham Hahn Exterminators, here when you need us. Call us today for your complete termite and pest control services.
Enjoy a relaxing stay at Hampton by Hilton in Tuscaloosa. Locally owned and convenient to the UA campus, just next door to Baumauer's Victory Grill, we offer free Wi-Fi and other amenities we've specially designed for your comfort and convenience. Grab a free waffle and more on us when you sample our complimentary breakfast. Whether you're here for parents' weekends to concerts or sports events and more, we guarantee to make your stay exceptional every time at Hampton Inn by Hilton Tuscaloosa, preferred hotel for the Crimson Tide.
It's time to give your heart some love because it's Heart Health Month. Did you know heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S.? But here's the good news. Small steps can make a big difference. Eat smart, move more, and keep stress in check. Know your numbers like blood pressure and cholesterol, and talk to your doctor about ways to stay heart healthy. Join WVUA 23 News this month in making heart health a priority. Share the love, spread the word, and take care of the heart that takes care of you.
For more than 35 years, Gary Harris's sports expertise has defined his role as WVUA 23's sports director.
In the era of the internet and of all the different outlets that are out there for conversation and national sports and Alabama, covering the local scene is what separates us from everybody else.
Watch Gary Harris weeknights on WVUA 23 News and streaming on the WVUA 23 News app. Your town, your news.
Self-portrait, Mike Parker. Elementary school Mike Parker with the self-portrait, John.
Man, I really was so. Yeah.
He's running a 4.3 right there, 4.3.
I'm telling you.
He was a heck of an athlete, and a lot of people don't know.
He was a really good athlete, good corner. I think he went to a couple of camps after high school to try to get into college.
Played football, played soccer, but he played a lot of sports.
Basketball.
He did a lot. An excellent athlete at Tuscaloosa Academy. Notice he had a scarf on in that self-portrait. He liked to wear a scarf when it was cold out.
If it's cold, he has on a scarf.
Yeah.
No question about it.
No doubt about it. All right, like we said, Mike would want us to talk a little bit of sports for sure in this program. So that's what we're going to do. Alabama basketball, obviously in the news this week. Not good news either. The Crimson Tide has lost 2 games in a row. Just got beat by Missouri pretty handily on the road. We got some highlights of that game for you here. Final score was 110-98, so a ton of points were scored in this game. But you know, and there's a lot to get into, John. The way this game played out, everybody shot it well. Missouri shot it well, Alabama shot it well, but Alabama didn't get any loose balls and didn't play nearly enough defense, left Missouri just too wide open on too many looks. They end up losing by 12. And another factor here, John, too, they lose by 12, and they started out down 12-0. What happened against Auburn 3 days earlier?
Yes.
Out of the gate, down 9-0. Got to fix that, too.
Chase, you said 2 things. They didn't get any loose balls, and they didn't play well on defense. Those are the 2 things in a game of basketball that doesn't take anything but effort. You don't have to have a lot of talent to play defense and to go after loose ball. I thought against Auburn we looked sluggish on the defensive end. they played a lot of basketball. I understand that. But so has everybody else. You can't lose the focus on the defensive end of the floor. If you scored 98 points, you should win the basketball game.
Missouri had a pretty commanding lead, had a 20-point lead at one point, and Alabama battled back, made it close here and there, but you just can't. You got to get more stops, bottom line.
Look, man, they have played a grueling schedule.
And they're 21-5.
Yes, the SEC, the best it's probably been since in my generation. It's grueling, but you still have to show up when it's time to show up.
Alabama now, as I said, 21-5 overall. They're 10-3 in the SEC. John, Mark Sears had a season-high 35 points in this one. Struggled with turnovers as well, which has been an issue for him here of late. But back-to-back losses now against Auburn and Missouri as Alabama enters play this Saturday at home against Kentucky. That's going to be a 5 p.m. tip-off in Coleman Coliseum. It'll be broadcast by ESPN. All right, to football we go now. A little bit of news. We're going to go ahead and preview another position for Alabama spring football. Of course, that's hadn't started yet, but it's right around the corner here in a couple weeks. We've been previewing the offense on Crimson Cover here lately. We're going to start in with a look at the defense this week. And, John, in particular, we're going to talk defensive line tonight. And then next week we'll get into linebackers, defensive backs, etc. This defensive line needs some juice, John. Needs some pep, needs some playmaking.
You know, last week when we was talking about the offensive line, and I said that's probably the unit that needed the most help. This is the second unit.
I think I'm not going to argue.
Yeah, we're going to have more guys up front that can dominate the line of scrimmage, not only in the run game, but in the passing game also.
At the defensive tackle position, Alabama is bringing back Tim Keenan, the veteran defensive tackle, about 325 pounds. Good player for Alabama. He's a solid bringback for sure, decides not to turn pro. The tackle that I think has got big potential to maybe break out and be a star is James Smith. He's a young guy, he's a red shirt. He'll be a red shirt sophomore this coming fall in 2025. Had a big bowl game against Michigan in the ReliaQuest Bowl, kind of came out there. I think he's got a chance, John, to be the next big-time interior DL at Alabama to be all SEC and really make some noise. At the bandit position, John, which in the Alabama defense, it's kind of like the 5-tech, I guess.
Yeah.
They got LT Overton. Jamarian Latham is coming back. Kelby Collins transferring in from Florida. Keon Keeley, the former 5-star recruit.
I would like to see Overton play better. I don't think, if you think about it from a motor issue or getting to the quarterback, he doesn't have an issue with that. His biggest issue, like we talked about before the show, is once he get there, he doesn't make the play. The quarterback either step up or step out and get out the pocket around him. He needs to fix that part of his game, and I think he could be a high draft pick in the NFL draft. Second round, maybe?
I absolutely think he's got that potential. He gets to the quarterback better than anybody Alabama has. But he's just one of those guys who doesn't have a knack for being able to finish the sack. And we've seen this kind of.
It's quick twitch, baby. It's quick twitch. Once you get,
is it panic?
No, I'm telling you. Once you get the bead on the quarterback, some guys have that explosion to get to the quarterback. Once you get a bead on him, they can't escape. Some guy doesn't have that explosion, so you give him room to escape. And I think Overton is one of those guys. He may be too heavy. He may be a little too heavy.
All right, at the Wolf linebacker position, we're going to throw that in with the defensive line preview, John, because that's the edge linebacker who they need to get heat on the quarterback. And this guy will drop once in a while. Not a pure defensive lineman.
Yes.
But Quay Russaw looks like he's your likely starter at that Wolf spot. Yanze Pierre, Noah Carter, a couple backups behind him. They need this guy, John, whoever it is, whether it's Russaw or somebody else, to step up, be that 10-sack guy that you need on the edge.
You're going to need, in this day and age, the way football is going, as much as they throw the football, you're going to need two guys around that 10-sack a year rushing the passer. You're going to have, because you don't want to get into a situation where you have to blitz the ball all the time to get pressure on the quarterback, and they're going to eat you alive in the secondary.
All right, that's going to do it for this segment on Crimson Cover Television on WVUA 23. When we come back, more on Mike Parker, the late Mike Parker. We love him. The founder of Crimson Cover, our inspiration. More on him as we close the show after the break.
Burnham Hahn Exterminators offers termite and pest control solutions for residential and commercial customers in the West Alabama area. Family owned and operated, now in its third generation, we stay up to date with the latest advancements in the pest control industry to protect your family and home from pests. We're an authorized operator of the Centricon baiting system. Burnham Hahn Exterminators, here when you need us. Call us today for your complete termite and pest control services.
In every moment, greatness awaits. For the bold, the visionary, and those ready to take their shot. Here, we don't chase success, we define it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Car insurance for seniors can be very expensive.
But don't assume that just because you're over 65 that you've got to pay outrageously high rates.
Are you paying too much for your auto insurance? If so, you're just throwing your money away.
Well, now is the time to check on your auto insurance rates.
You may be able to save a lot of money.
So call the number on your screen right now and find out how much you can save.
1-800-891-9418.
You remember that?
I had to get that clip of Mike Parker. Mike Parker did not like makeup.
Oh my God!
That clip was roughly 12 years old, maybe a little bit more.
We did that at the other
in the other building.
Yes,
and
yes.
At that time, WVUA, of course, WVUA uses our great students at the University of Alabama to do a lot of the work around here. And at that time, and maybe still, I don't know, but at that time, makeup artists, I guess that was part of what they, were trying to learn. Because there's makeup artists for TV shows all over America.
Yes.
So occasionally back then, we would have a student put some TV makeup on us before the shows, and Mike Parker did not appreciate it.
He hated it. He hated it.
Was not a fan, for sure. John, he had such a passion for the show.
Yes.
Mike. And one of the things I remember most about him, we're going to get to a video for you here in a minute about him. One of the things I remember most about Mike, back in the radio days, before we started the TV show, he would have nausea trouble that was related to his health problems.
Yes.
He would come to the radio show nauseous almost every week.
Yes.
And he would go right up to the microphone. He would roll his wheelchair right up to the microphone in the booth, and he'd have a big plastic bowl right beside him just in case. And almost every week he would walk in and say, "I'm so nauseous.
Yes.
It's going to happen this week."
But it rarely did.
It never did.
Yeah.
I don't remember it once. But my point being, when the red light came on, which is crunch time.
Yes.
Which is, right? It disappeared for him.
Yes.
That nausea disappeared for him. When the show ended, he'd get nauseous again. But when that light was on, same with TV.
Yes.
All that nausea went away.
The thing I remember the most about Mike is his smile. Anywhere you go, anything he's doing, anybody he's talking to, and you'll see in some of these pictures, he's always smiling.
All right, we got a video you've got to see of Mike Parker. This is probably our all-time favorite moment in Crimson Cover history. Again, this probably goes back to 2011, 2012, that neighborhood. Yes. Let's roll it.
Lost to Vandy 34-17 on homecoming. So if the official is not that would sway anybody, but if whatever stake that had.
Yes, we'll take those off. No doubt about that. But the thing is, man, any kid, if I'm the #1 player in the country, I want to go to where they're winning championships. And right now, there's nobody else in the country compared to Alabama as far as that's concerned.
No question about it. So 6'4", 260.
Oh, whoa. Oh my God, y'all scared the hell out of me.
Whoa.
Hey, yo, you didn't even try to say it, man. You running.
I didn't notice it in time.
What a coward. He running from
I knew he wasn't going to get hit.
He did.
I barely touched his shoulder.
Actually, my arm.
Shut up.
Hey, we got a lawsuit.
That's right.
Mike got whiplash.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God.
I was protecting the lawsuit. Leave me alone.
I can't move my legs. Mike can't feel his legs. Something's wrong with my legs.
Put that on your bloopers.
Something's wrong with my legs.
Holy smokes.
You talk. I just see. Oh my God.
What?
Yeah, they're pretty screwed up. All right, that's it.
We'll never forget him.
Oh my God.
We'll never forget him. We hope you don't either. We're going to leave you with some memories of Mike Parker right here. We'll see you next week on Crimson Cover.
What a sad day.
It's good to know that in this impersonal world, there's still a local home-owned drugstore that can take full care of you and your family. The good folks at Northport Pharmacy. Owner and pharmacist Rob Colburn will personally see that all of your prescriptions are quickly and accurately filled and your questions answered. And be sure to check out their gift gallery for the finest in gift selections featuring Alabama merchandise, photo frames, children's clothing, beachwear, jewelry, and more. Remember, when you have pharmaceutical needs, see the man who will take the time to get to know you. Rob Colburn at Northport Pharmacy, located next to CC's Pizza, Highway 82 in Northport.
Welcome to Baseball Country, a ministry in West Alabama that reaches far outside the diamond. We create opportunities for people of all ages and backgrounds to encounter Jesus. From baseball and softball training for high school to the big leagues, to men's and women's team sports camps, men's and women's ministry, youth mentored hunts, service projects, custom retreats, and so much more. If you want to get in the game, email sam@baseballcountry.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
This Black History Month, the people, the places, the stories that shape our shared experience. Alabama's Hidden History. Brought to you by Bank First, only on WVUA 23 News.
For high performance and low maintenance. For whatever drives you, there's an electric vehicle. Learn more